it's all about engaging directly with the player that you have, and you can do it without regarding balancing it for all the other players. And I think that's kind of a benefit. Hey Tails, that's a good question. How would I make a campaign interesting with only one player? So, you can give them a companion, right? You can give them and I think that's a good idea, giving them a partner that I think the right split is that it's a character you control outside of combat and it's a character they control inside of combat. So in combat, they have two characters to manage, gives them a lot more um, flexibility. It doesn't have to be constantly 1v1 type of combats, give them something to balance things out a little bit. And what I think is neat about a solo campaign is it gives you the chance to really scale everything down. You make it more personal. You can make it more kind of immediate in the immediate area. I think that you could have a compelling solo campaign or one person campaign that maybe even doesn't leave the starting town, right? Or their hometown, or the hometown and the forest and the nearby hill with some strange tower on it. Like that could be a really rich, compelling location for a single adventurer, right? In some ways, it's a lot easier working with a single player campaign because you only really have to worry about the sensibilities of one player. So if that one player is intensely interested in lore, all they want to do is learn about dragons. That's what the campaign will at least largely consist of, right? You can sort of go all in on that idea without balancing that out for anybody else at the table. There's nobody else at the table. If it's an artificer who wants to tinker and get into some complex crafting mechanics, you can go all in on that. If it's someone who is really enjoys the strategy even of the really kind of crunchy combat and complex scenarios like that, you can even get into that with them. So it's all about engaging directly with the player that you have, and you can do it without regarding balancing it for all the other players. And I think that's kind of a benefit. If you have the luxury of that type of situation, that could be really fun. In my experience, and this is just I had to validate this. This is a Matt Colville statement from one of his videos about running solo play. I watched that video years ago, tried it out, found it to be also the case, which is that generally speaking, when players have a solo D&D experience, it's going to be like their favorite D&D that they've ever played. Because it's such an intense level of improvisation and extemporaneous storytelling back and forth with one person. It ends up being like it's intimate in a way. Like there's a lot of trust. It's like doing a scene. If you've ever been in theater or anything like that, it's like reading scenes together or working on characters together like that. You have to be really vulnerable. And so in a lot of ways, I think that can be exhilarating for people. It's hard to replicate those moments in a group setting. You can still do it. But I think that in my experience also means that solo players are it's easier to sort of stretch the bounds of what D&D can be. You can put them in more dream sequences. You can put them in more role-playing situations because they have room to figure all that out. They don't feel the pressure of everybody else at the table. So there's all these benefits, I think, to doing it. So yeah, I recommend everybody, give solo play a shot. I really like it. I know they always say don't split the party, but honestly, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes that's fun. because now I get to have individual little sessions with the party, and obviously get them back together post haste. But it's a fun trip. I kind of cut my teeth as a DM running a solo game for a year. So it's it's worth trying out, even if it is a bit terrifying compared to running a group. But that's okay. That's how we learn. Shout me on the channel tomorrow and post. Awesome. Well, thanks for that. I appreciate that.